Ang unang episode natin ay tungkol sa pag-shift ng direction sa buhay, lalo na pag hindi gumagana o nangyayari ang original na plan mo. This is for anyone who feels lost, behind, or scared to let go of what they thought was their calling. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ask Norby Podcast Edition. Maraming mga kabataan at young professionals ngayon ang nakararanas ang tinatawag nating redirection. Yung hindi nangyayari ang original plan mo. Parang na-derailed ka, off track, then hindi mo alam kung ano ang susunod. That's why ang single overarching question natin sa episode na ito ay, paano kung hindi nangyayari ang plan mo? Maraming nagtatanong sa akin and they would say, Norby, madalas natin naririnig yung linya na trust the redirection process. Pero sa totoo lang, ang hirap nun kung ang feeling mo hindi siya redirection but failure. And so yung tanong sa akin palagi, ano ba talaga ang redirection at ang kaibahan nito sa failure? Well, to me, failure is an assessment of your current situation, the negative result of your action, the opposite outcome of what you expected to happen. But redirection is seeing the old situation not as a failure, but a lesson learned. It's an opportunity for self-discovery, which emanated from your past situation. It is a reframing process of seeing yourself winning from an old situation or overcoming self-limiting beliefs such as, I'm a loser, I can't do it, or hanggang dito na lang ako. So in short, failure is a prerequisite for redirection. Redirection is seeing failure not as denial of chances, but giving ourselves the chance to try again and bounce back stronger. Siguro maganda rin na sa susunod nating episode, pwede natin pag-usapan ng grit, resilience, and growth mindset. And so, normal lang ba ang pagbabago sa plano sa buhay? Ayun yung tanong sa akin palagi. And I think, normal ang pagbabago ng plano sa buhay. That's part of the dynamics and process of change. And all of us go through the process of change. But how we respond to change differs from each other. Both failure and redirection are responses to a situation. Kaya iba-iba ang pananaw natin sa sitwasyon. Not getting what we want may seem failure to one person, but may be an impetus for redirection to another person. And I think, normal ang pagbabago sa plano sa buhay kasi a big part of our life is influenced by the external forces that we cannot control, kaya need nating mag-adapt. And as we all know, adaptation is a survival instinct. It's a learning process leading towards growth. So, I think may mga signs din, no, na dapat tayong maging aware about being redirected. May mga pagkakataon kasi na kahit anong pilit natin, hindi talaga umaayos yung plano natin. So yung tanong sa akin palagi, paano mo ba malalaman kung redirection na pala ito? Well, at first, hindi mo naman talaga malalaman na sign pala iyon ng redirection. Kaya the tendency is we push ourselves too hard. And the more that things aren't going well, the more we push ourselves to its limits. Kasi ayaw nating mag-fail. Yung thinking na ito, yung tinatawag nating toxic resilience. So we keep on persisting kahit nasasaktan na tayo dahil ayaw nating mag-fail. But don't you think na kapag hindi umaayon ang mga bagay sa plano mo, it's a sign for you to step back, assess the situation, then recalibrate. Sa akin, ayun yung sign kapag nag-stop na ako and nag-step back. So meron akong dapat i-process and it might be I'm being redirected. Pero palagi ring tanong sa akin, paano ko nga ba malalaman kung hindi para sa iyo ang isang bagay? Sa akin, first signal ko is hindi na ako masaya sa ginagawa ko. Second, nararamdaman ko na nadi-disalign ako sa direction ko both in terms of purpose and values. Well, it happened to me before no, na nagkaroon ako ng tinatawag nating ethical dilemma. Yung tipo bang nababagabag ka kasi may mga conflicting values tulad ng magre-resign ba ako kasi hindi na ako nag-grow. Pero paano ka naman matutulungan yung pamilya ko? So yung conflicting values I had was personal growth versus family support. And ang naging sign ko nun na hindi na para sa akin ang isang bagay is hindi na ako masaya, hindi ko na gusto yung ginagawa ko, at naapektuhan na ang mental health and well-being ko. Pero pwede ring tanong natin na redirection ba agad kapag paulit-ulit na yung struggle ng isang tao? Para sa akin, hindi naman redirection agad kapag paulit-ulit na yung struggle. Baka kasi ang kailangan mo lang gawin ay magpahinga dahil na-overwhelm ka na ng situation. Maybe what you have to do is to take some time to revisit your plan or purpose. Or kailangan mo lang na makakausap, a go-to person like your friend or mentor para mabigyan ka niya ng new perspective given your situation. Very important sa akin yung processing, such as yung reframing. Reframing is seeing the same situation from a different angle. And now, kapag na-reframe mo na ang situation mo and nagtuloy ka, then maganda yung outcome, paka-sign yun na you have to stay pa. Kasi gusto mo pa rin naman ang ginagawa mo. So you have to give it a try. Once na hindi pa rin naging magandang outcome, I think that's the time na gumawa ka ng iyong next step. Pero, in terms of the emotional impact of redirection, maraming nagtatanong sa akin, aminin natin na masakit daw minsan kapag kailangan mong i-let go yung isang pangarap, yung dream mo. Parang binitray mo yung sarili mo. Normal daw ba na magkaroon ng feeling na hindi ka enough? Well, honestly, yes, mahirap at masakit i-let go yung isang bagay na gusto mo. Like your dream. Imagine investing your time, your effort, your energy, your mindset, thinking about your dream. Pero hindi mo pa rin siya magawa. Kaya, I think it's very important na meron kang plan B sa buhay. Well, personally, dream ko na maging lawyer. Pero after high school, dun ko nalaman na imposible pala kasi wala kaming available resources. Masakit pero I had to accept the reality at doon ko nakita ang kahalagahan ng plan B. Sige, let's try this. At first, wala ang heart mo doon. Pero eventually, I think natutunan ko siyang i-embrace. And yung feeling na di ka enough, I think okay lang yon. Kasi minsan baka maling tao lang ang mga kasama mo or nasa maling lugar ka. Remember this, you have a perfect place in this world. And minsan, kailangan mo lang hanapin ang perfect place na yon. And I think tama si Robert Frost dun sa poem niya na The Road Not Taken, kung saan may line dun at sinabi nga, I choose the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Minsan, ang plan B, ang road less traveled. Tapos, when you reach the end of the road, better destination pala siya. Siya pala yung perfect place para sa'yo. You know, life is full of surprises and sometimes you're being led somewhere kasi doon ka pwedeng mag-thrive. So, minsan, no, hindi mo kayang i-handle ang situation na hindi mo alam na redirection pala siya. And then, because of several setbacks and failures, nawala yung tiwala mo sa sarili mo kasi nadiskaril yung plano mo. So, paano mo ba maibabalik yung tiwala mo sa sarili mo? Palaging tanong ito sa akin. And I think marami tayong negative self-talk. According to studies, more than 60,000 thoughts daw ang dumadaan sa isipan natin every day, and 95% of that is negative. So ganun tayo minsan, sinisisi natin ang ating sarili. I always distinguish emotional need from cognitive need whenever I am in an unfavorable situation. Yung emotional need natin, normal lang yan na umiyak ka, sisihin mo ang iba, or even sisihin mo yung sarili mo. Pero hindi ka dapat mag-stop doon. You have to bring it to the next level. Kaya ayun yung cognitive need. Yung tatanungin mo yung sarili mo, okay, this is what happened to me. So, what will I do next? Yung what you do next is an objective way of looking at the situation and learning from the situation. That's why it's important to strengthen your psychological immune system. Nagkamali ka? Yes. Pero dapat babawi ka next time. Better, bolder, stronger. And I think, part of nahihirapan ka sa sitwasyon would be yung mga social pressure. Yung mga batchmates mo, yung family mo, yung mga bagay na nakikita mo sa social media. At marami sa mga kabataan natin ngayon yung nakakaranas ng pressure. Yung iba may kotse na, pero ikaw wala pang trabaho. So yung tanong sa akin palagi ng marami ay, paano mo ito maiiwasan yung napapressure ka dahil sa accomplishments ng ibang tao sa paligid mo? Well, I'm reading a book titled The 5 Resets, Rewire Your Brain and Body for Less Stress and More Resilience. And one of the techniques mentioned was yung digital boundaries or media diet o yung tinatawag natin na parang digital detox where you have to minimize your social media consumption. Why? Kasi hindi lahat naman ng nakikita mo sa social media ay reality ng buhay nila. Sometimes it's a cover-up for what they truly feel inside. Pero nagiging source ito ng pressure and stress natin sa buhay. Worse, we tend to dislike ourselves more. Ayun yung nagiging problema sa atin. Kaya palagi kong sinasabi sa mga nagtatanong sa akin, so what you have to do is to focus on your journey and not theirs. But sometimes, mas malakas yung power ng tinatawag nating malicious envy or yung inggit, kaya nagiging source ito ng inis natin sa sarili. Well, sounds cliche, but you must always conquer yourself. You have to start with a positive mindset. Then you have to design a plan for yourself. Hindi kailangang malaki, kahit simple lang. Why don't you try yung tinatawag nating the rule of 2? Isipin mo lang yung 2 bagay na kaya mong gawin starting today. Commit yourself to doing it for 60 days and you'll see how it will change yourself for the better. Again, I think to minimize your pressure, you have to focus on yourself, focus on what you can control, and do 2 simple things every day that will make you closer to your goal in life. And part of that, definitely nakikita mong successful yung ibang tao tapos ikaw medyo hindi pa. Feeling mo na pag-iiwanan ka na. Kaya yung mga tanong sa akin ng mga tao ay, paano ba mag-move forward kapag feeling mo na pag-iiwanan ka na? Ng mga kaklase mo, kabatchmates mo, ng mga kaibigan mo, ng pinsan mo. I think what I would tell you is to define what success mean to you. Ano ba yung definition mo ng success? I think the problem with us is we define our life and our worth based on the standards of other people. Paano kung magkaiba kayo ng path na tinatahak at gustong mapuntahan? For countless times, sasabihin ng ibang batchmates ko, nagbago na ako, mayaman na ako, di na ako ma-reach. Perception nila yun pero hindi ganun ang tingin ko sa sarili ko. Hindi nila nakikita yung point na natutuwa ako sa na-achieve nila as parents. Yung mga anak nila na gumagraduate na, samantalang ako, I remember na hihirapan pa rin akong tapusin yung doctorate degree ko. So, I think sa buhay natin walang naiiwan dahil iba-iba ang hinahanap at gusto nating makamit sa buhay. Again, you just have to focus on your journey, and no matter how slow it may seem to you, but when you continuously move forward, you will reach your destination. And that's one great lesson that we've learned from The Hare and the Tortoise by Aesop. And masakit na part ng pressure na nararamdaman natin sa buhay, yung dinadanas natin na pressure ay family pressure. Yung paano mo ipapaliwanag sa mga magulang mo na kailangan mong Sundan yung path na gusto mo. Lihis dun sa path na gusto nila para sa'yo. Well, culturally, kailangan nating mahalin ang ating mga magulang. Palaging tinuturo sa atin yan sa pamamagitan ng pagsunod sa mga gusto nila. Kaya meron tayong tinatawag na filial piety, yung ang sino mang sumunod sa parents sila ay mabait, at kapag sinuway mo yung gusto nila, suwail kang anak. I think that's where the problem comes in. Anong gagawin mo kung hindi mo gusto yung course mo pero parents mo ang nag-decide para sa'yo? But when you try to look at it, I think pareho kayo ng end goal, which is maging maayos ang buhay mo bilang anak. At bilang mga magulang, gusto rin nilang makita na maayos yung buhay mo dahil mahal ka nila. But what you can do is to be more open about your situation and discuss it with them. You will never be good at something that you don't like. And I think nakita ko ito sa marami kong mga estudyante. No matter how much effort you exert, you will never succeed in something that you do not like to do. Pero dapat, kaya mong ipaliwanag sa magulang mo kung ano yung plan mo at kung ano ang gusto mong ma-achieve. Then, what you have to ask for them is their support, so you will have extra source of courage and strength in case na mag-fail ka along the way. And I think may mga tao rin na nagtatanong na sometimes you see redirection as a blessing, na may mga tao na sa redirection lang talaga nila nakikita or nahanap yung tunay na calling nila. And I think maganda na i-share ko yung experience ko as a person about redirection. Para sa akin, my life is a story of redirection, so to speak, no? Gusto ko kasing maging lawyer, pero wala kaming resources available at that time. So I had my plan B instead. I became a teacher, and my life won't be as meaningful and more fulfilling as it is now had I insisted on becoming a lawyer instead of a teacher. I put up the Noble Minds. It's a consulting firm because I was feeling lost 8 years ago. And looking back and looking at where I am now, had I not believed in myself then and not chased my passion and purpose, I wouldn't be where I am now. So life is a series of redirection towards finding your ultimate purpose. And your journey wouldn't end unless you found what you're looking for. And this is something we've learned from the experience of Santiago, a 17-year-old boy who dared to chase his personal legend, taking a leap of faith into the unknown. In the end, he discovers that what he was searching for had been waiting for him all along, right where his dreams first took shape. But it wasn't just about the destination. It was the heartbreak, the setbacks, and the unexpected twist that truly transformed his life and made the journey worthwhile. So, paano mo nga ba malalaman kung growth na yung nararanasan mo at hindi takot? I look at it in many stages. Una, you don't want to leave your comfort zone, which is normal. Pero kapag nagkaroon ka na ng courage to step out, what you would feel then is yung fear. And that's the next zone or the next stage, the fear zone. Gusto ko yung sinabi ng friend ko about this. Kapag daw natatakot ka, ibig sabihin nun natututo ka at nasa tamang direction ka. And when you feel like you're beginning to have a hold of the situation, you're entering the learning zone. So from fear zone, you now enter the learning zone. Natuto ka na, and this leads to growth zone. Naka-adapt at naka-adjust ka na sa situation. So paano mo malalaman kung growth na ba ang nararanasan mo? When you are no longer in the same situation where you see situations full of problems and setbacks, but you see a lot of things as lessons learned. May mga tao rin na nagtatanong about yung situation and faith. Minsan sinasabi nila, letting go of your plan A is hard. Pero paano kung meron daw palang mas magandang plan B si Lord para sa'yo? So, importante daw ba yung spirituality, yung faith mo, yung pananampalataya mo in the process of redirection. Well, personally, in all the things that we do, alam natin na there is guidance from above. I think this is spirituality. It's a personal, inward journey of connecting with something greater than the self o yung tinatawag nating transcendence. Meaning, purpose and spirituality, I believe, are interconnected because they give meaning to how we live our lives with deeper sense of purpose. Importante yung spirituality kasi ginaguide tayo nito para makita natin ang kabuluhan ng ginagawa natin, higit nating makilala ang sarili natin, at mas maunawaan pa natin yung role natin sa buhay mo at sa buhay ng ibang tao. At higit sa lahat, mabuhay tayo ng nasa tamang landas, may tamang values, at may tamang direction. And part of that spirituality would be, paano daw ba natin naririnig yung mga, yung boses ni God? Yung silent guidance ni God sa buhay natin. I think naranasan ko ito ng maraming beses at patuloy ko pang nararanasan ngayon. At para marinig ko yung guidance ni Lord, talagang ang ginagawa ko is i-detach ko yung sarili ko from the physical world through silent retreat. I remember there was this place on top of the mountain, yung Peniel Prayer Mountain. Feeling ko lost ako sa life ko. She advised me to go to this place. So I went there and I stayed there overnight. Nagpray ako, I immersed myself in nature. Tinanggal ko yung identity ko na ganito ako, ganun ako. Tinanggal ko yung perception ko about myself. And at that time, sinabi ko lang sa sarili ko, anak ako ng Diyos na naliligaw. At that time, iyak ako ng iyak throughout that journey. Pero nung bumaba ako from the mountain, it felt like I heard God. It felt like He was guiding me throughout that journey. And quite frankly, I need to do this again. Kung kailangan nating makita o marinig ang guidance ni Lord, be in silence. Wherever you are, when you silence yourself from the world, all you will hear is the voice and the guidance of the Lord. Please do it. It's a healthy practice for self-redirection. And we've been talking about redirection, no? So, sa mga nakikinig, so ano ba yung tatlong bagay na po pwede nating gawin if you want to know that you are in the process of redirection? I think the first thing that I'd like to share with you is yung tinatawag nating presencing. This is a principle in leadership where you blend presence and sensing, where you connect the future with the present, with the now. I think you start by defining what you want in life. Be clear about your goal, your purpose, your direction, and connect it with the now. Ano yung dapat mong gawin ngayon? Second, you have to stick with your goal. And you have to translate the goal into simple, actionable steps. And be clear about your timeline, your time frame. Refer to your goal occasionally so you would know kung nasa right track ka pa ba. I think it's very important to also do self-assessment. And lastly, don't be disheartened by the challenges, setbacks, and failures that you will encounter along the way. Part ng redirection process yan. Para silang sandpapers, they refine the rough edges of our life. Soon, you will find out that you are being redirected towards your purpose. So in simple terms, three things, no? The first one is reflection is key to self-assessment and self-discovery. You practice it especially when you feel overwhelmed or lost. The second one is translate your goal into your daily action plan. Make sure na may na-accomplish ka every day. And the third one is reframe your situation by always seeing the same situation with a new lens. And finally, para sa mga nakikinig ngayon na nawawala, nalilito, at takot sa bagong direksyon ng buhay nila, I want you to remember this. Napakaingay ng mundo. The world is so noisy and there's a constant buzz both online and offline. And the harsh truth, amidst all the voices and opinions, it's easy to lose sight of who you really are. That's when confusion, overwhelm, and a sense of being lost start creeping in. But instead of ignoring these feelings, see them as signals. Your mind's way of telling you to pause, step back, and reflect. Whenever life feels like it's spinning out of control, or you feel like you're being swept away by the chaos, take a moment to reconnect with yourself. Tune out the noise and listen to that quiet voice within. It's always there and ready to guide you toward clarity, self-discovery, and the path that's truly meant for you.